Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Student. Welcome to the Academy of Chiropractic Doctors PI Program Consultations. I am very excited that you took the time to do this and make the commitment to your career, to your family, to yourself, just to be the best of the best through clinical excellence. Sit back and enjoy the consultations. Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Student, and welcome to our podcast. Today's podcast is titled, There's Never Ever in the History of Our Profession Been a Better Time to Make Money in Chiropractic than now. I'd like to start out by saying we don't practice to make money. We're not in this to treat patients, to extract money out of them. We're not in this game to extract money out of carriers, out of lawyers. I mean, that's secondary to caring for your patients. And I want to make that clear. You don't sit and look at a patient and go, well, how much money can I make from them? You go, what's wrong with them, but I need to charge a fair and equitable fee to get paid for my services. So this is about not the service hand, but the business hand. And you're one person with two arms and two hands, and they're both attached to you. But the two shall never meet, and that's very important to understand. So with that being said, let's just talk about the service hand right now and the business of chiropractic. Well, I could tell you factually, as I consult clients just about, well, actually in 49 states, not all 50 states, but in 49 states I've consulted patients consulted doctors of chiropractic, and it's getting better. It's getting not a little better, but a lot better. A lot of it derives on your patient source and making wise decisions. And there's no get-rich-quick program out there, folks. There just isn't. If you think you found the get-rich-quick program, you're mistaken. It's not. Let me show you what a get-rich-quick program looks like. Hey, doc, I'm going to give you scripting to talk to a lawyer. I'm going to give you scripting to talk to a primary care medical doctor. I'm going to give you scripting to talk to this auto body shop. And you're going to get sound bites. And in those sound bites is where the magic is going to come for you to get a new patient. Well, that's absurd. Let me show you what else it looks like. You know, doctor, we've got this cadre of research articles. There's 10 of them. And it's incredible. But especially this one, no one really understands it or is using it. And as a result of it, if you use this research article, that'll be it. Your practice will be built like crazy. Game over. Here's another one. You just need ads. You just need great ads. Put them in. And it's how you align the ad. It's got to be with special fonts and sizes or pictures or other nonsense. Listen, that's pure marketing. That's another get-rich-quick program. And I'll tell you why in just a moment that doesn't work as a rule. The last get-rich-quick program that I really, really like is let's get social. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, theater, ball games, golf. Get them to like me, get them to like me. Have a personality-driven practice. Now, there are practices that are successful in that environment, but they're not the norm. Let me tell you why. Because you're going to get the referral. You're going to get the referral in those environments. That's the problem. Because the problem is when the referral comes in, and if you're dealing with an attorney, with a medical specialist, a medical primary, even some urgent cares and even some hospitals, they're going to get to interface with you. They're going to see your documentation. They're going to communicate with you. It's just a matter of time. And somewhere along the way, you're going to open your mouth up and they're going to realize that you're no more than a PT. And I don't mean this disparagingly to physical therapists. They're incredible technicians. But you are not. You're a doctor. You're supposed to be a primary spine care provider. You're not someone who just works off a prescription off of a provider, a doctor, and does what they say, because you're not capable or trained to make a diagnosis, prognosis, and treatment plan. You need to understand that in order to be that primary spine care provider, in order to do that, you have to be credentialed. You have to have knowledge. You know, and it's amazing when I talk about making money, it comes down to clinical. And we'll get back into some of the nuts and bolts to making money in a minute. But I just remember dealing with a neurosurgeon. I was seeing 650 visits a week in an entirely family practice. And I'm not suggesting you do that. But I broke my back, and I met with a neurosurgeon who was, could potentially help me. And there was nothing they could do. It's 2 compression fractures. And he just said bed rest and, some painkillers and stop whining like a little girl. That's pretty much what he said. But I started talking to him about spine and practice. And after 15 minutes, he looked at me. And we talked about disc and herniations and stenosis and neural canal encroachment of discs, etc. And after 15 minutes in the conversation, he looked at me and he said, and this was, 25 years ago, he said to me, Mark, you're a nice guy. You're real nice. You're personable. You talk a great story, but I will never refer to you because you don't know anything about spine. You know nothing. You know 5%, but with your conviction, you profess to know 200%. So I'll take your referrals. You want to take me to dinner? I will. I'll drink your alcohol. I'll eat your food, but I'm never referring to you. When you choose to become a true spine specialist, I will work with you. It's really that simple. And I walked out of that room. I was so fuming, angry. I was pissed. The nerve of him. Doesn't he know how many patients I'm seeing? So I went home and I took out the books because the internet was not really what it is today 25 years ago. And you know what? He was right. I was talking about disc pathology, rendering total nonsense. I was talking chiropractic philosophy, not talking physiology. Total nonsense. And a light bulb went off in my head. And I have to tell you, I went back to school. Literally back to school. I went to my local, I went to the State University of New York at Stony Brook School of Medicine. They would not let me in. They wouldn't allow me through the doors. They wouldn't let me audit classes, nothing. Low library. So what I did was I made friends with a neuroradiologist through alcohol, ribeye steaks, and cigars because that's what he liked. And he liked me, and he let me sit next to him when I audited and I learned. And I spent probably 1,000 hours. And then I went back to the neurosurgeon 3 years later. He granted me 5 minutes because I was going to refer a patient to him. And we spent 2 hours together. And ever since then, it's been a marriage made in heaven. And it's been wonderful. And the same thing with attorneys and orthopedists and internists. Once they do, the referrals just don't stop. I haven't had a practice now in 14 years. I still get referrals into my practice from these people. Mark, please, you got to see this patient. Mark, please. So, the get-rich-quick programs, are absolutely, they don't work. Now, when you do get paid, the first thing you have to ensure that when you bill, is that your fees are legally defensible. Because a core area the carriers are going after are, Doc, where'd you get your fees from? They bring you in for depositions, for examination under oath. They write you a letter. They want to know, where did you get your fees from? Well, I got it from my organization. Okay, could you give me documentation from that organization setting your fees? Now, organizations don't do that because in the past they've been charged in RICO violations for organized racketeering for setting fees. So where'd you get your fees from? I got it from the guy around the corner. I got it from a managed care bugger. Where do you get? You know where you get your fees from? I get my fees from a book called Medical Fees in the United States by Physicians Medical Information Corporation, PMIC, Medical Fees in the United States. Google it, go to Amazon, you could go wherever you want. That's where you get the book from. And that's where you get your fees from. And there's a geographic modifier, 50, 75, and 95 percentile of what you charge based upon your geographic modifier. and by zip code it modifies the fees. And I suggest you bill in the 75th percentile. It's conservative, it's good, and it's usually more than you're charging now. But it's a standard of where you charge your fees. It's really simple. And you need to adjust your fees. Now, if managed care mandates a certain fee, or you're in certain states like New York that sets your fee, or New Jersey that sets your fee in personal injury, then that's what you put your fee at. It's all Florida. I believe it's 2 times Medicare and a certain other number. Use that as the fee schedule. Don't change it. But for the other fees, which is supposed to be usual and customary, that's where you set your fee. That's one area. Now, there's never been and that's just about your fees. The other thing is if you're going to bill for a service, make sure you're billing appropriately for that service, coded appropriately, documented. If it's a time service, don't put 15 minutes. You must use clock time, 2 o'clock to 2:15, and that's a requirement, by the way. It's in the Federal Register. It's a requirement, and that's important to do. Now, why has there never been a better time to make money in chiropractic? When I work with doctors around the country, within a year, my average doctor's take-home pay after taxes goes up 61% if their take-home prior to working with me was under $100,000. If it's between $100,000 and $150,000, their take-home goes up 58%. If it's over $150,000, it goes up 25%. And that's pretty consistent across the board. Why? Because we're teaching doctors how to get paid. We're teaching doctors how to document appropriately. We're teaching doctors how to communicate. And you never, ever, 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 ever accept an IME report that's denying your claim. Never. You have to rebut it. And you can't rebut it by saying, I'm right and they're wrong. You have to rebut it quoting the law of where they've crossed the line, the IME doctors. That's something we train our doctors to do. It's really simple. The other thing is that you can't take inappropriate denials from claim reps and carriers. If they're saying, this is only 6 visits are required for this treatment. Now, in certain contractual arrangements with managed care, they say they only cover chiropractic for 6 visits. That's fine. 6 minutes, it's true. But in other ones where it's usual and customary or open-ended, specifically in personal injury or workers' comp, if the carrier's rep, the claims rep, says 6 visits, it should get better, well, you need to challenge them. And who's the licensed provider? And again, this is another thing we teach our doctors, how to go after the carriers and the claims reps to ensure you get paid. And they're breaking the law. They're practicing medicine and/or chiropractic without a license, which is impermissible and a felony in most states. They're rendering a diagnostic opinion. They're not allowed to do that. And we go after them. And you know what they do? They pay. In some cases, it's funny, an insurance company, one of my doctors in Tennessee, I believe, threatened the carrier, the claims rep. There was a check on his step. They hand-delivered it the next day. You get lawyers who do money grabs. They want to pay 50 cents on a dollar. They steal your med pay and redirect it. They do. I mean, there's a lot of. I hate to use this word. There are a lot of scumbag lawyers out there. There's a lot of good ones, but there's a lot of bad ones. So what we do is teach you how to use the laws in your state to ensure you get paid. There are laws on the books to help you get paid, and you need to use them. You need to exercise them. And you need to go after them and really, draw a line in the sand. And here's the laws. And you know what? You're going to report these people. You're going to report them to the licensure boards, the Department of Insurance, the attorney generals in your state. The jig is up. You want to know why there's never been a better time in chiropractic to make money? Because we're finally using it and learning. Not finally. I've been doing it for years. My doctors have been doing it for years. But I'm sharing with you. You have laws. We have laws in this country. Some people don't have to follow the laws, but the rest of us do. Okay? It's really that simple. You know, we're not in an all corrupt society, even though sometimes it feels like it, where the insurance companies always break the law and get away with it. Well, they don't get away with it. You let them get away with it. And the reason you let them get away with it is you don't go after them. And you must. You must be a whistleblower. It's very simple. You must put ethics into them. The IME system, when I first got out almost 40 years ago, was pretty fair and equitable, believe it or not. And now, I can't remember the last time I saw a fair and equitable IME. I can't. We need to go after these people. And guess what? IME doctors really have little to no malpractice. So if you're going after them and they get sued or they lose, guess who's holding the bag? Not the IME company who hires them, not the insurer, but the individual doctor. So the jig is up on them also. So there's never been a better time to get paid. I am watching doctors make money in this industry at an unprecedented rate. No get-rich-quick programs, no fancy dinners, no billing inappropriately, no fancy coding schemes. Simply by being the best of the best through clinical excellence, using the laws in your state to get paid, and having a business strategy behind it. Now, let's finish up by talking about business strategies. If you think that Ford, IBM, Hewlett-Packard, Nabisco, all of these companies just have marketing plans, you're insane. They have business strategies, and they pay consultants tens of millions of dollars, outside consultants, to help derive these business strategies because they need to think out of the box to constantly grow. And what's part of that business strategy is a marketing plan, a tax plan, a financial plan, a feedback system, corporate structure, infrastructures, manufacturing ideas. That's what a business strategy does. It puts it all together. You need a business strategy, and then you act. Then you act on it. You do it. You know, if I was driving from here, from Maine to Texas, would I just get in the car and just take any road because I have a great vehicle? Your marketing plan is your vehicle. It's a great vehicle. Well, which way do I go? Your roadmap is your business strategy. And it's that business strategy that will take you where you want to go. That's what a good coach will do, by the way. That's what we do for our clients. We create individualized business strategies, which includes everything we've talked about today. And we customize it to you because if you're in practice 2 years versus 32 years, it's a totally different strategy. You could be making, profiting $25,000 a year or profiting $1.7 million a year. It's a totally different business strategy. So what we need to do is customize it. It's not a one-size-fits-all. If you're with a consultant and they give you a CD and say, do everything here, or here's a book and just do everything in the book, or here's the cadre of ads, just do this, hold your wallet and run like hell. Because it's a get-rich-quick scheme, folks. Hold your wallet and run like hell. If you are in practice more than 20 years and a consultant says, revelations, walk on water, hold your wallet and run like hell, because there's nothing new. Yeah, we're going to teach you some clinical things are new. We're going to repackage you. But you're not going to learn earth-shattering new stuff because you've been through it all. You've seen it all. What we do is repackage doctors and take what they already know and move them in the right direction. It's very simple. There's very little revelations at that stage of the game. So, listen, if you want me to chat with you about you, I'm more than happy to do that. My phone number is 631-786-4253, 631-786-4253. I'll repeat that in just a moment. But there's never, ever, ever been a better time in chiropractic to make money than right now. I am Dr. Mark's student. My phone number is 631-786-4253. And I look so forward to speaking to you or working with you. And I love being a chiropractor. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed the podcast you just heard, and it's been my pleasure to bring this to you. Please understand that this is a very small piece of the puzzle, and it is my goal to bring you many, many pieces of the puzzle so that the picture can become clearer, your practice can thrive, chiropractic can thrive, and I at least can be a small part of that in your life, and it's my pleasure. So again, if you want to chat, give me a jingle, 631-786-4253. That's 631-786-4253. Or go to our website at Teach, Chiros, CHIROS.com. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you or chatting with you on our next podcast. Have a great day.